So in this last example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my document not on page 1, but on page 2. All right, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to hit create. Let me zoom out so you can see the whole thing. Here's my original document. Do you see the difference? Here's the document starting on page 1. Here's the document starting on page 2. What is the difference? So there isn't a cover or an isolated cover. That's how I would like to phrase this. The cover is not isolated. The cover is now with the back of the document. So there might be situations where you're designing a document and you want to see the cover and the back at the same time. So you would want those two pages put together in a spread. In this document, the cover and the back have nothing to do with one another, as you can see here. So in that case, I can leave it broken apart. But there's a pro and con to setting it up in either way. Does that make sense? Okay, so that is my conversation for today. It's the first portion of our InDesign lecture. To recap, we looked at the user interface of the software. We investigated that it's very similar to Illustrator. We have a toolbar on the left that has a lot of familiar features. We have our workspace in the center that's driven by the page panel. And instead of working with artboards, we have linear pages within the document. We saw that we have panels on the right. We learned that there are 2 different control bars. And we also researched the menu structure. We created 2 documents today, one with a start page of 2, which forces all of the pages to be in what's called a spread format, or that they're connected together. And the other one was where we started the document on page 1, and that isolates the cover and the back. All of the other pages are left in that spread or facing page format. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay, so when we come back next week, we are going to do this one more time, and we are going to place content in it. We're going to place images and text, and we're going to do this together. We're also going to learn about visual hierarchy, where that's order and emphasis through text, and we are going to do this together in a class, and you're going to turn in your work that you develop, and you're going to get credit for the participation. Okay? So that will be your last homework or participation exercise. And then in the meantime, you should also be working on your project too, putting your poster together.